Not talked about enough is men who boo-hoo cry at their weddings. Why are you crying that hard? Like, all that tells me is that you did some shady stuff during the whole relationship, and you literally cannot believe that this girl is still choosing to marry you. That's all that tells me.
Okay, Andrea.
I think a red flag that's not talked about enough is men who boo-hoo cry at their weddings. Why are you crying that hard? Like, all that tells me is that you did some shady stuff during the whole relationship, and you literally cannot believe that this girl is still choosing to marry you. That's all that tells me.
God, that
All right, sweet. Don't be starting no stuff, man. Don't start no stuff, man. The HR report was already long enough. Is that true? Is that why men cry?
hell no, man.
Nah, man, we
They
just
ain't got no
recorded this video
idea.
watching this damn shit. I was like, yo, you this like so basically what she's saying is that's the red flag. That means she won't want to get a divorce right afterwards. So I'm like, yo, it's like that's you want the man to cry because at least he's showing his emotions and showing feelings that you want, right? That's what we this emotional intelligence shit about. But it's crazy, man. We men can't do nothing these days.
Godly.
Look, I think it's that woman in particular. To be honest, man, I don't think that most women are like. Oh, most women when they watch it, they be like, oh, not like that. Like this woman, she's got to be an outliner. This is just somebody who just really doesn't get it, right? And that's the whole thing. We talked about this before, where women really don't want to afford you the opportunity to be emotional. You don't have a safe space. You can't express yourself in that manner. And that's why men behave so harsh and alpha male and everything else, because we can't talk to women like a certain way. We can't behave a certain way. Once we decide to become emotional, some women like this will view you as soft. And that's crazy. The dude probably is like, damn, I can't believe it. I got the love of my life. Like, I'm going to be so happy. I can't wait to, spend the rest of my life with this woman. Like, it's a joyous moment. And sometimes your emotions might get the best of you, right? And it doesn't mean that you solve. You're just having a moment. You know what I mean? It's not like how you handling hard situations and you're breaking under pressure. You just feeling an emotion and you decided to express it in that way. And I don't see how that would make you soft. If I saw one of my homeboys crying at their wedding, I'm like, cool. And guess what? A lot of my homeboys did cry at their wedding, right? And it ain't nothing wrong with that. There's such a thing as tears of joy. Why the hell we can't express ourselves as men? Not all of us behave that way, but some of us are just conditioned by society to be so hard, pause, because we're not allowed to behave that way. Like, come on, what we doing?
Hey, Trey,
Nah.
starts with one.
What the thing about it, man, we don't know what the situation was why that man was crying. That man's mother may no longer be there and is not able to be at the wedding because she's deceased, or maybe the father's deceased. Whatever reason, you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. What's going through a man's mind, or head, or heart during that situation. He may have been through a whole lot in his life and didn't realize he's going to ever get to that point of possibly being married. Maybe he was a man whore, and now he found the Lord and changed his ways and all that good stuff, and now he's ready to settle down and be with this woman only. You never know what a man's going through, or maybe he's crying because it's over for that his neighbor he used to knock down at the apartment complex. I don't know. She has wet nana and he gonna miss
Oh, he a dirty man. Anybody else got anything on this?
Hold on.
Yes,
Go ahead, bro.
it sounds like some things like, all right, you ever heard the saying like, once the street, if you in the street, you always in the street. Like there's a way that like a man can like turn his ways around, and it's like to the public's eye for a man, like they feel like, and when we talking about as far as the man expressing his feelings, like as far as some crying is concerned, the thing is, in my opinion, women's when they say they want a man with emotional intelligence, but when the time comes arise, they're not ready for a man with emotional intelligence. And an example is this: I saw this video the other day, Birdman. There was a video of him going back and forth with his sister-in-law at the family table, and she brought, "Why are you so rough when he you know, you're a really nice person. You know, you're really a sweet person, like behind closed doors. Why can't you just soften up a little bit with your wife? And he asks, he says, well, why I got that? She got everything that she ever wanted. So what does that got to do with you and me? She says, he all rough on the edges right now. But my thing is this: it's in men's nature to be in that position because they were never put in an environment where where they made it comfortable for them to be able to open up. And a lot of men, it's safe to say that the moment that that happens, if they try to do that, let a situation arise later on where they're in, they bring that those things, those deep dark secrets and stuff like that. When you bring up a deep dark secret, that's the man opening up to you. That's part of your emotional intelligence, being able to open up to um, the opposite sex. So when something happens later on down the line, y'all get into an argument, then they bring it up and use it against you, and then it makes a man feel insecure that and regretful that and resentment that he finally let his guard off. He thinks he let his guard off by opening it up, and now it's biting him in the ass. Such thing as crying.
All right. Anybody got anything on this?
Y'all know how they always say that every dark cloud has a silver lining? I think this is one of those situations where someone has to find a negative in everything, even if it's supposed to be beautiful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to find, and that's what she reminds me of. She reminds me of one of those people that find a negative in everything that is done, everything that is said, even if it means a man crying at his wedding. She is never, this type of person isn't used to seeing any good in men, so they assume the worst anytime we do anything. If he's taking care of you, oh, he's being financially abusive. If he's crying at the wedding, he must have done you dirty in the past. If he buys you something, it must be because he did something wrong. And to be honest, fellas, those are the type of women you want to avoid. Those who find a negative in everything that you do. Because I don't think this is all women. I don't think, you know what I mean? I think one of those scenarios where it's actually a pass for a man to cry is at his wedding. In fact, we've heard women say it. I give men passes, weddings, funerals, you know what I mean, deaths in the family. Those are typically the things that women tend to give us a pass on. I think we are all in agreement to that. So for her to literally find a problem and the one thing that we actually cry in, it just screams hurt.